What's up, folks? It's your boy Bob Hollywood back with another exciting review. Today's review is, a little more sad, a little less fortunate. It's a review of this Hasbro Star Wars Black Series, The Mandalorian Greef Karga. And it's sad because earlier this month, in Black History Month, the actor playing Greef, Carl Weathers, passed away. So this is coming to you the last Monday of Black History Month. I want to say he died on the first week of February. So it is with a heavy heart that I'm doing this. I switched some things around. I didn't even have this figure until about a few weeks ago, and I wanted to go ahead and grab it before it was impossible to get, if that was going to be the case. I wanted this figure when it was in Target and when it wasn't even the credit series. I just never bought it. I don't buy a lot of Black Series brand new. It's not a priority for me, but I do try to get the black Star Wars figures when I can, and I have a good amount, both characters from what was it, Empire Strikes Back, all the way up to newer stuff. Obviously, you see Finn in the review crew, but you see not Finn, Lando. Finn used to be in the review crew, but yeah, Carl Weathers means a lot to me. Not necessarily in this role. I only saw, I think, like 3 episodes of The Mandalorian. I saw enough to at least see him in one episode, but from Rocky, man, the original Rocky is one of my favorite films, and I think he plays a great antagonist. He isn't a villain. He's just a person with their own goals and motivations in those films, and he ends up becoming Rocky's best friend. And yeah, and obviously Carl Weathers was also Dylan in the Predator, or excuse me, is it in Predator? I'm sorry, and yeah, that was another iconic role. Everybody knows the handshake and the "you son of a bitch" from Arnold. We all know that. We all know that. So yeah, rest in peace to Carl Weathers. I'm not a deeply religious person. I'm not a religious person at all, but his loss is going to affect all of us. Anybody in the nerdosphere, whether it's Star Wars, Rocky, Predator, I want to say Billy Gilmore. I think that Happy Gilmore. I'm sorry, and he's done so many other things. I can't praise him enough. I can't give him enough credit to justify it. He was an amazing actor, and his loss is going to be felt by everybody. Let's go over the figure and the packaging. As you can see, this is the credit series. I think is what it's called. So it's slightly different coloration than the regular Black Series packaging. This is the pack. This is how it looks, I think, in the credits, the closing credits, and that's how these figures are meant to look. It has it tells you about it on the back. It says this distinctive collection features premium deco applications inspired by the end credit images from The Mandalorian, plus a collectible Galactic credit accessory. After the fall of the Galactic Empire, usage of their form of money, Imperial credits, became less common, with many planets refusing payment in the currency on principle. And then the rest is the same thing in different languages. We're used to that. There is a barcode there. And again, I said Hasbro. This is Hasbro. It just has the Kenner labeling. Kenner used to make the Star Wars figures when they first came out. I think up until episode 1. I could be wrong. But anyway, I'm going to bust this guy to his plastic prison. I'll be right back. So there's Greef out of his plastic prison. He only comes with the 2 accessories, these 2 guns, and they are the same exact guns. One for his left hand, one for his right hand. And they're not so futuristic that you couldn't give it to another character that's not in the Star Wars universe. And they're just one solid color. This dark gray, possibly black. He also comes with the, I believe, Galactic credit. Was it Galactic credit? Yes, Galactic credit. And this isn't an accessory for them. This is, if you wanted to pretend to pay, this is in, I guess, 1/1 scale for human beings. I don't know how much it would be worth based on the color or the design. I really don't know. Let's look at our main man here. So it looks like Carl Weathers. I mean, the eyes aren't exactly even. Like they look like they're drifting more towards his left, the camera's right. And when I was picking this guy up, I had to make sure I got the best possible eyes. There were ones that were much worse. There's some bags under the eyes, which is cool. It just shows, Carl Weathers aging. Lots and lots of details. Like this feels really good. This top part, I guess it's a shirt. It's on top of another shirt that feels completely different to the touch. His pants feel completely different. Boots. He's got some tiny, tiny feet though. Like tiny. And then on this side you got a little bit of, not paint, but it's blue to match again that inseam. So it's not necessarily, the outfit's blue. You can see it's all the way down that whole side. He's got this cape. This cape could come off. If I wanted to take it off, you just lift this arm. You just lift this arm. It's been difficult. The cape could come off. You could take the cape off. I'm just not going to do it because I don't feel like fidgeting with it. He has two different holsters. So obviously one holster is visible on his left side. The gun goes in. Pretty snug in there. You can get the gun on the other side. But because of the cape, it's harder to, you couldn't have him like with his hand on both guns in a natural pose while they're in the holsters. If this was a softer material, if it was fabric, that'd be a different story. But I'm feeling it. Like I said, I've only seen one episode with him in it, so I can't say how it compares to his normal outfit or how the outfit in general, how it translates to screen. But I like the way it looks. The only thing I don't like are the tiny feet. Like his feet are tiny. So small that it's harder to make him stand. He wants to lean back because of the cape. Yeah, it's hard to get him to stand up straight. But the hair looks good. There's no painting, really. I mean, again, you get the blue. That's to represent the end credits, not necessarily color of the outfit, but there's no painting on anything other than the cape. The cape, it looks like it'd be molded in this color, this burgundy, and then painted. And everything else is just molded. And I guess there's paint on this, because you can see there's like black speckles. I really like this garment. And there's paint on the belt buckle. Let's see if we can make out what that is. It looks like just the Empire logo. It looks like it. I could be wrong. So let's go over his articulation. His head, you see it's there. He can look up that much. You heard the movement. That's from the double peg neck. The pegged neck. Excuse me. He looks down that much. He's going to rotate 360. When you first saw me take him out and do that, you saw the neck moving. You can see it doing it now. The neck is double pegged. So the bottom is going to rotate, the top is going to rotate. You're going to have to get them to work in tandem. His arms. Go up that much. We're going to rotate 360 at the shoulder. Elbow, single jointed elbow at that, it's that weird Star Wars articulation, but it is going to give you slightly better than 90. His wrist, he has a wrist hinge at the wrist. Both of them, I'm assuming, are going to be vertical since that left is vertical. I'm assuming the right, yep. The right is also vertical. Whoops. I thought I was going to be able to avoid dropping stuff. And I don't know. Sorry about that. So he does have a butterfly joint in there, and his right side is more cooperative than his left side. I don't know what it is. You can see it there, but I don't know why it's not as forgiving. There is no ab crunch here, so there's just this swivel at the waist, and you can see it goes 360. His legs go out that far. Let's see if we can get a little Glen Webb action. It's easier to stand him that way than it is to try to stand him normally. But yeah, he can, that's his split with his feet touching the floor, flat on the floor. And nothing is hindering. It's not like his holsters are hindering or the cape. That's just the articulation there. Then we do forward. Leg kicks that far forward. Goes back super far. And there's the rotation at the thigh cut. Single jointed knee, like Ahsoka last week. And it also swivels like Ahsoka. And as you can see there, I've already started to, come into his pants are coming into contact. And unlike Ahsoka, it makes less sense for him. Hers, because the way her pants came down, it really hid that joint. But his, it doesn't make as much sense. There's no boot cut. And his feet are on rockers, which give you a ton of mobility. And it also pivots. And again, he doesn't want to stand. He is not going to cooperate. Let's see if he'll stand so I can get his height. He's actually doing it for us. We are being blessed. And then I hit the figure and knocked him over. He doesn't want to cooperate. Let's see if I can use the peg. Looks to be just over 6. Maybe 6 even. So what do you know? We have a 6-inch action figure. That's a 6-inch action figure. So let's compare him to the review crew. As I mentioned before, I do have some black Star Wars characters. I'm only going to compare him to one in this review, and that's going to be Lando, played by Donald Glover. He's way taller than Lando. And Devin from Power Rangers Beast Morphers. He's taller than both of them. Let's see. Well, he's going to be taller than these guys because these guys are the shorter in the review crew, the shorter members. Winston Zedmore and Lucio. So that's cool. I'm glad he's got some height, a decent amount of height. Let's compare him to John Jones. Almost knocked him over. And Killmonger, and he's shorter than both of those, which I'm fine with. Let's bring in Vixen and Andra. He's going to be shorter than both of these lovely ladies. And finally, let's bring in Roadblock and Titus O'Neil. And again, he's shorter than all of them. Or both of them, rather. But he's a good height. He's not tiny. He's just smaller than these giants. Anyway, folks, that is my review of Greef Karga. If you have not seen a movie starring Carl Weathers, you are disappointing yourself. And what do I always try to teach you here or talk about here? Positivity, and not disappointing yourself. So please go watch Rocky. It's like one of the best movies ever. Go watch The Predator rather. It's great. I'm not willing to say it's one of the best movies ever, but it's highly, highly, highly entertaining, and I think you'd appreciate it. And for one final time, rest in peace, Carl Weathers. You will be missed. Action figures speak louder than words.